Doesn't make sense. I'm killing myself in here, and nothing changes.
You've said it, maybe not out loud, but in your head after another round where you gassed out, after another sparring session where the same mistake cost you again, after another month of grinding with no real progress to show for it. You're doing everything right. At least that's what it feels like, skipping nothing, putting in hours, getting beat up and coming back for more. And yet, you're stuck. Here's the truth. This isn't bad luck. It's not the opponent. It's not the coach. It's not your genetics. It's direction. You're moving, but you're not moving forward. If you're training hard, but not getting better, you're not lazy. You're misaligned. This is where that ends, because in this video I'm going to break down exactly why you're not improving and how to fix it before it's too late. Let's go. Chapter 1. Lack of intention. You train, you show up every day, you drill your jab, your cross, your double leg over and over, again and again. But let me ask you something. What were you actually trying to improve today? Can you answer that right now? Because here's the problem. You're moving, but you're not aiming. You're repeating, but not refining. And that's the trap. You don't need more reps. You need more purpose. Every session where you show up without a clear focus is a session where you reinforce the same habits, the same timing, the same reactions, the same mistakes. When you hit pads, are you just trying to look sharp? Or are you working on weight transfer, on distancing, on timing against a specific rhythm? When you spar, are you trying to win every round? Or are you experimenting, testing reactions, fixing what failed last time? See, this is the truth most fighters ignore. Mindless repetition doesn't create mastery. It just makes your flaws automatic. And if you're not careful, you become great at doing it wrong. So here's the shift. Every round, every drill, every warm-up should have an objective, one thing you're isolating, one skill you're sharpening, one flaw you're correcting. That's intention, and without it you're just shadow boxing with your own potential. Chapter 2. Poor periodization. You train like every day is fight day. You push hard. No excuses, no off switch. But here's the harsh truth. If everything is intense, nothing is absorbed. Your body isn't a machine. It adapts in waves. It needs rhythm, not just resistance. Stress, followed by recovery. Load, followed by consolidation. But that's not what most fighters do. Most fighters, they go full throttle 7 days a week. Pads, conditioning, sparring, lifting, non-stop. No phases, no deload, no structure. And what happens? They burn out. Or worse, they plateau while thinking they're getting better, because fatigue hides progression. You think you're grinding forward, but you're actually stuck in place, too tired to absorb anything new. And when fight camp comes around, you're already drained. You enter the most important phase of your season, with a system that's already overworked and under-recovered. Listen, fighting is not just about intensity. It's about timing your intensity, building your base, sharpening your tools, peaking when it matters. That's what periodization gives you. Control over your performance curve. Without it, you're gambling with your development, and most of the time, you're losing. So stop thinking that more always means better. Train hard, yes, but train with phases, with purpose, progression, and planned recovery, because smart fighters don't just survive the grind, they shape it. Before we move on, if this is hitting you, if you've been training hard but feel like something's off, drop a comment below. Tell me what's been your biggest struggle with progress. I read everyone, and your insight might help someone else too. And if you're serious about evolving, hit that subscribe button. This channel's all about breaking through the noise and training smarter. Let's grow together. Chapter 3. Lack of self-assessment. You finish training, you're drenched, exhausted. You throw your gloves in the bag, dap your teammates, and head home. Another day of work, right? But here's the question. What did you learn? What got better today? What needs fixing tomorrow? If you don't stop to reflect, if you're not reviewing, measuring, asking, you're not improving. You're just repeating. This is where most athletes fall short. They train hard, but not consciously. They trust the process, but they never check if the process is working. No footage review, no journaling, no technical notes, no feedback loop. And if there's no feedback, there's no direction. If there's no direction, there's no evolution. You can't correct what you don't see, you can't improve what you don't measure, and you can't expect growth if you're blind to what's actually happening in your own performance. You want to break through your plateau? Start paying attention. Record your sparring. Re-watch it. Ask for real critique. Track your tendencies, your wins, your losses. Write them down, because awareness creates change. And without self-assessment, you're just showing up to repeat the same version of yourself over and over again. Chapter 4. Over-focus on the physical. You look the part. Strong, lean, conditioned. Your numbers are solid. Your lifts, your sprints, your rounds. But here's the problem. You're not a bodybuilder. You're a fighter. And fighting isn't won by muscle mass. It's won by clarity, timing, awareness. It's won in the invisible moments, when instincts and decisions matter more than strength. Yet so many athletes hide behind physical training. Why? Because it's measurable, it's rewarding. And let's be honest, it's easier than facing your weaknesses in the cage. You lift heavy, you run fast, you grind hard. But when it's time to read the fight, time to adapt, to breathe through chaos and make real-time decisions, you freeze, you get outsmarted, you break mentally because you didn't train that part. Physicality is just the vehicle, but strategy, IQ, emotional control, that's the driver. You can be strong, fast, and explosive and still be outclassed by someone lighter, slower, but smarter. So stop chasing performance metrics in isolation. Start training your fight brain. Develop awareness, decision-making, adaptability under pressure, because no amount of muscle will save you when your mind is lagging behind your body. Chapter 5. Training to survive. Not to evolve, you walk into the gym every day like it's war. You grind, you bite down, you survive the session. But let me ask you, what did that survival give you? Did it make you smarter, more precise, more aware? Or did it just leave you wrecked, sore, and stuck in survival mode again tomorrow? Here's the trap. So many fighters confuse suffering with progress. They think that just because the session hurt, it must have worked. But pain isn't progress. Getting through training isn't the goal. Growing through training is. If your only mission is to make it to the end of the round, you stop thinking, you stop adjusting, you stop learning. You go into survival instinct. Your brain shuts down. Your technique breaks. You muscle everything and hope for the bell. And the worst part? You do it again tomorrow, and again the next week, and again the next camp. You become a master at surviving chaos, but never learning from it. Training should stretch you, yes, but it should also teach you. Every tough session should leave you clearer, not just more exhausted. So stop training like the goal is to crawl out of the gym. Train like the goal is to come out smarter, sharper, better equipped for the next fight, because no one wins a title just by surviving the rounds. They win by owning them. Chapter 6. No strategic focus. You show up day after day. You're doing the work, no doubt about it. But here's the issue. You're not training to win. You're training to get better at training. It's easy to get caught up in the grind, the mindset of just show up and push through. But here's the catch. Showing up is not enough if you're not training with a clear target in mind. Let me ask you, what? Do you want to improve right now? Do you even know? Too many fighters go through the motions, picking a random drill here, doing a little cardio there, but never fully committing to one thing. There's no deep focus on specific areas, no sharp, targeted approach to mastery. And it's a problem because without focus, your development becomes scattered. Your skill set gets diluted. Instead of improving one technique to perfection, you're a jack of all trades, master of none. This is where strategy comes in. What you need is a game plan for every session, every week, every month. A roadmap that tells you, today I'll work on clinch control, this is my focus. Next week it's closing the distance and managing pressure. Without a game plan, you end up stuck in the same loop, constantly putting in effort, but never truly seeing the breakthroughs you're looking for. Focus is how you break through the noise. It's how you sharpen your skills, one step at a time until the results are undeniable. So stop training like you're just passing time. Start training with purpose and watch how fast the evolution happens. You remember that athlete from the beginning? Frustrated, exhausted, putting in the work and getting nothing back. He didn't quit. He didn't just push harder. He changed. He started watching his sparring. He wrote things down, set goals for each session, broke his training into phases, stopped grinding for the sake of grinding, and started building with purpose. And slowly, things started to shift. His movement became sharper, his reactions quicker. He didn't train more, he trained smarter. He still sweated, still struggled, still showed up early and stayed late, but now, every drop of effort had a target. Every round had meaning, every mistake became a lesson. And that's the difference. You don't need more hours. You don't need more pain. You need clarity, structure, and conscious repetition. Because if all you do is fight against the current, you'll stay stuck in the same waters. But if you learn to steer, you'll move, you'll grow, and you'll finally become the fighter you know you can be. If this spoke to you, if you saw yourself in any part of this journey, don't just close the video and forget it. Like the video, if it helped you see things differently. Drop a comment and tell me where you're at in your training, what clicked, what still needs work, and most importantly, subscribe if you're ready to stop training in the dark and start evolving with intention. This is just the beginning. Let's keep building smarter, sharper together.